Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to another patch breakdown. We are the Hextechs. I'm Havoc, and today I'm joined by Mantic, Endormi, Phoenix, Mythic, and Khan. So we've got a new patch. It is version 828, and it's a pretty exciting patch. So we're just going to quickly talk about. We'll go through the general patch notes at the moment first, and we'll get to the good features later on. But first, I'll give everyone a chance to say hi.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up, baby?
Oh, amazing. So, Khan has some light this time. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got some color there. Not that I can talk.
Yeah.
No more corn after dark.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we'll start off with Jenna, as I said. Get off the more boring stuff, and we'll jump into the more exciting stuff later on. So the first thing we've got is the pre-combat priority window has been re-implemented. You can set your stops in this phase, stop window in game. So I mean that's
That's
yeah,
actually
Big
kind
go
of
deal,
ahead.
actually.
Yeah,
That's really big.
It's
Makes
kind of
Wing Whisperer
actually
actually
important.
awesome.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
before you had to do it first combat, so if they're playing one eye open, they could just untap it or stuff like that. So, or they could respond by playing something to untap them or whatever. So it actually does kind of something sweet to have.
Yeah.
Makes Stormcall a lot better as well.
But they already said that,
That
it
type of
was a
stuff.
bug, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That with Stormcall and things like that, yeah, that is definitely pretty big because you don't have to do it before they actually get to their combat phase, so that's good. That is very good. So let's see what else we got here. The action game timer will now be checked when players are deciding to mulligan, so they can't just sit there and not use time, I guess. Why the Sapper no longer has inconsistent champion images. Fair enough. So just a few things changed to chat, like /local and yada yada /help. There is now profanity filter toggle in the chat preferences, so if you want to see all the swear words, you can turn that off, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think people
Yeah.
will be able to read half my text anymore.
So don't
Unfortunately.
read what
I know what Mythic's saying.
Yeah, we know.
Except
We know what
gibberish.
you're saying.
Lines and line after line with gibberish.
Yes, something to do with genitalia for sure.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so players can no longer get their client into a state where they see each chat message multiple times. That's pretty cool. The scroll bar now quickly works in the message tab of mail. Just a few other stale data displayed, yada yada. And there is now a logout button in the options menu, which I thought there already was.
I think it was blanked out.
I
I think it
Either way.
It allows you to switch accounts and such.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
without having to close out the whole thing.
All right, so that's the general. I'll scroll down now to we'll do the new cards later on. So let's scroll down to gameplay. So we've now got pretty much all the champions are now working correctly. Chimes of the Zodiac has been changed to now it's a unique, so you can only have one in play. So that's pretty big.
That's what I thought it was going to be like when they first revealed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty
It
big
just
effect.
seemed like a unique type of card, you know.
Yep.
Mhm.
For sure. Alright, so replicas now quickly have their cost reduced by cards that reduce an artifact's cost. So things like Technical Genius will now work with.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. Also, Mimic, obviously, you can. They're going to
Yeah,
be.
that was really buggy last patch. I mean, they just implemented them, so that makes sense for kind of have to work out bugs afterwards. But yeah, it was not working like as it should.
Wait a sec. Can we go back? Which champion is Bunjitsu?
It's the one that
Bloodline.
combines
Bloodline.
two troops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You sack
No,
two
no one
troops, and they
plays it.
become a
I
thing.
know Tetzat. I was actually
Yeah.
wanting to play him before, but he was completely broken.
That's what this
Yeah,
character
I
is
heard.
actually kind of sweet.
I actually watched someone play him earlier this week, and I was like, "Oh, he's using that champ. I heard he's really bugged. I wonder what he's gonna do." And then he used the champ power, and just was amazed as his board disappeared entirely. Just really, at the end of his
Before
turn,
when
'cause
I
that's
tried
what it
to
was
use it.
doing. Yeah,
That's weird. When I tried to use it, it actually just didn't do anything.
yeah, that's what it did for the longest
Nothing
time.
happened.
In the most recent patch, it actually you could use it, but now it would create the token and do all the things it was supposed to do, and then at the end of the turn, it would remove all your permanents from play. And like
Oh.
things like your like any triggered upkeep effects would still trigger as though they were in play, but like you'd have no board really.
So
Probably
Mythic
should
will love
have
that card as he loves Trial of Faith.
Yeah.
It does. Basically, it gave you a
Destroy
free
everything
trial of
you
faith.
Even worse downside.
Pay 6 trial of faith. Yeah, that's basically what it did.
And just
Same
never
effect.
get the angels though. Like I won with Trial of Faith before. I won't win with just. I don't need these cards anymore. Get out of my face.
But
I mean,
yeah,
it's not
Faith
much
also.
different from trial of faith.
moving
Time
back
is
on
awesome.
then.
Yeah.
All right, so
on.
what was I up to? Blood Cauldron.
Battle
oh, no,
effects
so-
no
yep.
longer will go off if a target is removed in response.
Yep, that's obviously very good. So
Yeah.
zombie game text has been removed.
The game text
no.
was
I
that
don't know.
it was voided instead of when it dies was voided instead of going to the graveyard.
And I
Yeah, that
wanna
only
make that
applied to the plague, right?
No, to all
That
zombies.
that didn't apply to any of the other zombies, did it?
No, to all the zombies. All the cards that were called zombie, when it died, it was voided.
Fair enough.
I wonder why that is.
Well, they're all.
I did
made
wanna
the same way. Sure.
go back to that last line real quick though. Battle effects
Mhm.
mean like
Squirrel.
survival of the fittest and such.
Yep.
Squirrel Titan, all that. Just in case that wasn't clear for anyone.
Right.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
actually happened
They
in the
don't-
tournament to
yeah.
me. I got he murdered my squirrel in response, battling his vampire king, and his vampire king still died when the troops should have returned 0 attack and 0 defense. So
Yeah,
Right.
that happened also for me.
Well, so Norm is a cheater, and that's
no, I surrendered the game after that. That's what happened.
Norm
Because
Bug
if
and Norm is a
he
cheater.
do that, he will have won next time. So
Makes sense. I respect that.
I still won
Much respect.
that round, but
All right, nice
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
All right, so Blood
Thanks.
Cauldron Ritualist is now it's basically changed, so it becomes a 5/5 instead of it being a 4/4 when you sacrifice a troop. So a little bit of a buff, but it's still not that great of a
Yeah.
card. I think most people don't
Yeah,
like.
I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to talk about Tata with it because we were watching. I think we were watching like
Neo, I think it was.
Mythic's stream while he was drafting, and I noticed the card in the draft. And I know Tata has connections at CZ, as do I. So like, I was wondering if he knew about the change. But we're talking about how playable this would have been if it was the same card, but it just cost 2. So I don't know if this buff will actually, make it see play at all anymore. But if they had just changed it to like a 2 cost, still made it just a 4/4. I think we would have seen a lot more of play from it in both limited and constructed. But oh well, we'll see what happens. We'll see
Oh
if this
well,
buff
not
does
everything has
anything.
to see
They
play.
Not everything has to see play ever.
Yeah.
I mean, if they wanted to make it see play, they could have even made it a 2 cost and turn into a 3/3. But just the fact that it's a 2 cost sacrifice outlet is what.
Yeah, it's so important. Yeah, like especially for 27 card combo decks like mine that need a way to like sack creatures to bring them back.
Yeah.
Like that would have been perfect.
Mm.
That's definitely something to look out for in the future, though. Any 2 cost sacrifice outlets.
Yeah,
because all one's down
sure.
to 3.
because
With,
I
conversion in this guy.
yeah, and then like my style of play is I really like playing decks like I created the Ghost House deck, and that deck uses a lot of sacrifice effects and just to be able to play around things like life drain and stuff like that, or even play around conflictions and things like that. It's just really good to have an efficient sack outlet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he's not that efficient for the fact that he only becomes a 5/5. Like, if you were like even maybe like a carrion feeder, like a 3-cost carrion feeder, gets +1/+1 counter, like maybe that'd be better. Make him way more playable that way. But
I feel what's holding him back the most is the fact that he's a 3-cost.
Yeah,
and
one-
there's
yeah,
just
for
so
sure.
many things at 3 that you want. If he was a 2-cost, then he'd fit right into
Yeah.
your curve. And
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
just
most-
so many-
There too. There's many stuff that could have been make it
There's-
better.
Because
Yeah,
yeah, there's like
there's
some
a-
leech from Magic that was like a 2-cost that you could pay life to make it a 4/4 to end the turn. That was pretty good. Sorry, card.
Yeah, there's just like so many great 3 cost troops in this set, and not very many 2 cost troops at all.
Yeah.
And it's
Mm.
a little bit annoying sometimes.
when you're oh sorry, my bad, dude. Go on. I didn't keep cutting you off.
But, I was done.
Okay. When you're drafting, if you look at your curve, a lot of times like your 3 spot is just so stacked. Like just has so many things. And your 2
Yeah.
spot's like empty. It's like you go 1 to 3, and unless you have like a Howling Brave, you're not curving out very efficiently. So like it
Yeah,
would
you
be
might
nice
if
to have
you're
some,
like if you're in Ruby, you have Pyromancers, and everything else is like what
Like 3, yeah, 3 or 4.
Actually,
You can have the Orc Taskmaster guy, but that's not even that great. It's a 2-drop. It's basically a 3-drop because that's get haste.
yeah,
Yeah,
actually
I know a bit about free cost.
the mono green draft is kind of powerful. I really lost some games to that. I know there was from someone that it was forcing mono wild in every draft, because if you check the 2 draws of mono wild are pretty decent. The 2-2-4-2 on the wild child and also the 3-2. And if you may
Yeah, I mean,
also,
you got little bears
yeah,
stuff.
you also have the malfunctioning warbots and the 3 stuff. You still have solid stuff to play with.
Yeah. It's kind of
It-
funny. One of the best 2-drops in the set is colorless.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody can run it.
It makes the beatdown tango mono wild kind of strong, especially limited, because as
Yeah.
you said, many people just jump to 1 to 3, or even just to 3, because the 1-drops aren't at the rate for the most part. So it really can put some pressure in and win a lot of games that way.
Yeah, and a lot of your 1-drops are even spells, like Reversion or Sapper's Charge. Like the cards you're actually going to play in a lot of your decks. Or you may get the Howling Braves, which would be sweet, but a lot of times you have like your Sapper's Charges or your Burns or whatever at your 1 spot. So it's not even like you're applying pressure every turn. Like you can't really curve out very well because your removal spells are usually weighted till later anyway. So you don't even usually play them in turn 1. So
But yeah,
Long story
somehow-
short, 2-drops are important.
Yep.
Well, Sapphire still has some good ones.
Yeah, Thunderbird
Yeah,
is
your knight's
that's the
alright.
best one, right?
Thunderbird.
yeah.
Anyway,
Back to the
yeah,
patch
back to the
notes.
patch notes. All right, so
Back to the
I think-
patch.
I think most of these next lot are all just word changes,
Nope,
but then
nope.
again,
Nope.
No,
No,
Doppelgadget,
Doppelgadget.
Double
is not.
gadget got nerfed.
big
yeah.
change.
okay, let me
Double
read it
gadget,
out then.
yeah.
So at the start of your turn, you may. Okay, yeah, this one is a change. At the start, you may transfer this artifact into a replica of a target non-shapeshifter artifact with cost 4 or less you control. So that's that's the change there. The
Yeah.
cost 4 or less, so you can't now replicate even what's it called, the
Drew.
Volcanon.
You
You
can.
can't do Drew. You can't
You
do
can
Guardians.
do cannon. You can do.
Can't do chimes. I mean, you
Well,
can do all those things, but you
You
have to
can
do
if you
a
have a
considerable
technical
amount
genius,
of. Yeah, you have to do a lot of work. You need to.
yeah,
now,
you need to do combos and stuff.
You
so.
need to do a much. It's much harder chain of cards to combo that out.
Got to go deeper into the dwarves.
Yeah,
Doppelgadget
I mean-
time bug.
you can do that.
Yes,
Double
you
Gadget's not
can-
really
Still.
with you, which is cool.
Doppelgadget into cheap robot just for extra robots. You can
Yeah.
still do.
Well, into extra turns, right? Double Gadget into time bug equals extra turns, but still,
Yeah.
we'll get to that later.
So basically, the reason that they
the next
nerfed
change.
this is because of the probably the same problems. Especially now that we know that
They
they didn't introduce the artifacts on that were spoiled for set 1, most of them. So they probably just
Yeah.
didn't want them to be able to copy that.
Well,
ones because they were
They also
pretty
have
good,
to
pretty
think
good.
of future sets. Like the more powerful
Yeah.
artifacts they introduced, the more this Doppelgadget would have became like crazy. Like
the reason I was given about why this card was nerfed was to open up the design space for
Yeah.
powerful artifacts in future sets.
Exactly,
That was the
there you
only
go.
reason
Makes
this was
sense.
done. It has nothing to do with any of the set 1
Yeah.
combos.
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
to open up for the powerful stuff later on.
I think it also
I mean-
it makes you want to go into the dwarf deck more if you want to copy higher cost stuff,
Right.
Because of the technical genius.
Yeah,
So it kind of forces dwarves on you if you want to do Doppelgadget shenanigans.
Yeah.
Also, as a last note, another robot dwarf card that got nerfed yet again. So
Yeah.
All right.
dwarfed.
So
The next change, actually, I like. It's just a wording
So-
change, but I'm really happy they did it.
yeah, I mean, it's just wording change makes things.
It was
a bit
really
more
ambiguous before when the Urnaz text. It didn't actually tell you which graveyard to get the creature out of when it entered play. Now they just cleared that up.
Yeah.
It's always out of the opposing champion's graveyard.
clear.
Which
So-
I'm assuming is it's gonna pop up automatically now, which is nice. Just you don't have to
Yeah.
go over and click it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably still have to
So
click.
just clearing up ambiguous wording.
Maybe.
yeah, because actually having to
Nice to
target
have.
the graveyard could be a thing. Especially if there are constants
It
in
will
the
be-
future
yeah.
that prevent targeting from your stuff. So
Well, like also in the future, they're probably gonna have. If you notice things, they'll say opposing champion. So
Yeah.
like I imagine during years from now, when we actually get multiplayer and things like that implemented, you'll be able to target the opponent you want. So it should retain targeting, so you can target the champion you want in multiplayer. So
Yep.
yep.
All right. So what else we got here? Construction
These
plans.
Both of these are just,
Just
wording
word
changes.
change. Yep.
Yeah,
Same
they do
with
the same thing.
pretty much everything, I think.
Yeah, all the way down
Pretty
to
much
yesterday.
everything is just
Yeah.
Oh, no, Slaughter Gear is actually a bit different. You have to exhaust another
yep.
target ready
Oh, that's
artifact.
Can't
Okay.
be already
You can't
exhausted.
exhaust. Yeah, you can't exhaust stuff that's already exhausted
Yeah.
anymore. That's kind of a big nerf.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
Little bit.
really. I mean, it's really such
Yeah.
a good card in limited. That thing, I had a lot of trouble with that one.
Mhm. Yeah.
It can cause a lot of trouble, and then especially if you're like half asleep, like the case for me a lot of the time. You're like sitting there, and then like, yeah, I'll just block here. Oh no, he's turning it into a damn what is that, War Hulk, and then you like get screwed. But yeah, that's gonna help a little bit. But all right, so that's all those are all just word changes, including all the way down to pretty much everything.
The Turobot and Technical Genius, that wasn't what they read before, but they actually did that, so it's only word change.
Yeah.
Because they actually did that.
Yeah.
So they've changed the orders of powers on Hop Hero. That's fine. Same with Elder. Okay, so there's really, just fixing up a few things like resource cards will now function correctly in all cases. Let's see what else. You'll now be able to play cards if your opponent has an Enlightened Seeker in play.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
because before it would lock both players out of casting rather than just the owner. So yeah, that was a bit.
Basically, it makes it being able to be burned.
Yeah. Alright, so reverting a Briar Legion will no longer kill it or cause the game to no longer progress. Manti Elder Druid's triggered reversion ability will no longer prevent the game from progressing, so just some crash
I thought
fixes.
reverting. Why doesn't that make Briar Legion die?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Shouldn't it? Or
I
no,
mean,
it should still be a 2-2.
It seems like it should make it a 0/0.
If it in hand it's a 0/0, once it comes into play, it gets the
Yeah,
ability.
I
So
mean-
it should be shown as a 0/0 effectively when you revert it, I would guess. But
Yeah.
if they say
I
it's
think
correct to
kill
not
it.
kill it, then I mean, I guess it's correct not to kill it, right?
But we don't know why.
It's
and
their
a little bit
rules. we
inconsistent.
just live by it.
Yeah.
You're inconsistent.
Well, one of the
Should
things
actually
is that
kill it,
we are
right?
so close to beta,
Yeah.
but right now we don't even have the rules, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Well, the rules are going to be a
Yeah, I
tutorial,
would
right?
like
They're
to
going
have
to do
some
a tutorial of the dungeon.
I want
for
like
the
a
rules.
comprehensive rules.
Yeah, I want
So if
comprehensive
there
rules.
is something, you can actually
not gonna
look it
read
up
it,
and
so.
see if it's correct or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read all of it because that's going to be huge if they decide to do that.
Keywords.
But there kind of needs to be that.
Yeah.
The magic rules are interesting, to say the least. Layers upon layers upon
Yeah,
layers
it's like
upon
600
layers.
pages or something.
Yeah.
Nobody actually reads the whole thing, but you can reference it,
Yeah.
look it up. And that's nice to have.
Alright.
But yeah, because reverting does kill Honeycap, right?
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah, so
I'm not
And
sure if
that
it's supposed to.
seems
Though,
like
if
the
they
No,
same
it's
thing.
so
supposed to
Barley
kill
can-
the honeycap.
Yeah, so it seems like it should
Yeah.
supposed to kill the Briar Legion.
The thing is, if they
Yeah,
think,
so
I
it's
guess
the
they
exact
consider
same
it as
ability.
a permanent effect. Like, it's not an effect on the Briar Legion, but a permanent effect of the game. Like, the same
Well, you could, yeah.
that's probably the thing. Like,
Yeah.
for example, you cannot revert an Osawa, because it's a constant, it's always actualizing.
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought
when
that
you
was
think
different.
about the wording
I don't
of the Briar Legion, it is,
I guess I don't remember the
it's
exact
equal
wording.
to how many's entered play, so that's then like all
So
the other
it's
ones in
still
your deck.
play, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of
But, I mean, if it's a 0/0 in your deck and your hand, you
yeah.
think it should be a 0/0 when it gets reverted.
Well, the thing is that we don't know the wording of reverted, because if reverted is, it becomes to the same card as in the card manager, which is probably more or less what it does, because it reverts gem now too. Which is actually, if you revert the true with a gem, it actually doesn't get the gem
It does. It is, yeah, obviously inconsistent.
Actually,
Yeah.
I had my game freeze up last night because Golden Saucer guy tried to revert my troop with a gem, and then the game froze.
I wonder if they've fixed that yet. It's not actually mentioned, I don't think.
Yeah, hopefully that's fixed. Well, actually, it was with a Monty Elder Druid, And
Okay.
that's actually the next fix.
Yeah, that's
So
How about that?
fixed.
there you go. Reverting a troop affected by Crown of Primals will no longer incorrectly revert to Crown of Primals. So that's fair enough. Blood Orb of Brutality no longer incorrectly recalculates its modifier if the gem troop stats change. So that's also good.
Real fast, with the crown of primals, do you think that would then mean that if they die, they still revert the crown that way? Or since
Yeah,
it
it
would
should.
technically
Well, yeah,
show
it
as it
should.
not being targeted then, right?
Oh,
Because
you
it
mean
gets
after
the ability and it loses the
after
ability
gets
of when it
reverted and then it
dies.
dies?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
a
think
good
it would
point.
revert it if it
Right?
gets reverted and then
Yeah.
dies.
Because the
because it
effect
loses
goes
the
into the
ability
text.
on the card itself.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah, good
Right.
point there. Good point. So Kraken
good
Guard
job.
Mariner is now correctly listed as a human rogue. Fair enough. Shield Trainer, the same thing. So no issues for the patch. Chimes of the Zodiac does not correctly display the unique tag in the deck builder,
I
but it
think
does
that's
in game.
more than just the times. At least last patch, it was also
Yeah,
with
that was
Yeah.
Argus
happening
and
for
stuff.
Argus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I had it with Argus.
It only affected I think it affected a few people, but like it didn't affect Karn. But like Endori and I, we didn't have unique on any of our unique.
No, it
Cards
was
in the
it's
card
because
manager.
Karen and I were on the games when you were talking about it. So
Yeah,
that's
we were
why
talking. I was in game. I
Yeah.
didn't look in the card manager
I had it in
afterwards.
can.
So
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
what we figured out afterwards.
I didn't have any cards with the unique tag, which is kind of weird. In the card manager. So.
Yeah.
All right, so the next line here is just talking about because we've got a new card manager in this patch, so there are
We'll go over that in
a
a
number
moment.
of known
Yeah.
issues, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited about it and just everything in it. It just looks amazing.
And a slight unfortunate issue: Mancubus and Splinter of Azathoth do not regain their one-shot abilities when they're reverted.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, the Mancubus Bonnie combo is that for this patch.
Yeah. Mancubus, Bolpa, not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Best buddies.
all right. So speaking of new features, I'll just read out what the new features are we're getting. So as we
Scroll
just
back up
mentioned,
to the top.
we've got the new interface for the card manager, so still a work in progress. So expect a lot of bugs, but yeah, it will be interesting to see what it actually looks like. You guys want to say anything about it?
Well, I'll be
Uh,
interested to see what it actually
Yeah.
looks like.
It's
Well,
really good. That's probably all I'm allowed to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Mantic
I
with
don't
his
like
confidentiality.
My
This,
NDA.
I hate the way Magic Online's one looked. Like it looks like just a bunch of windows open on a web page, which just looks garbagey. This one looks beautiful, but the fact that you can't stack the cards, which I don't know if it's in there, and like just the shut up, Mantic.
Like,
Stop
it is or
pointer
it
on your
isn't.
head.
Yeah. Like just the little things you couldn't do, like shrink the card manager. Like I don't need to see all those cards. Most of the time I'm gonna be typing in what I'm looking for or scrolling through. I don't need to see like 8 million cards at a time and have my deck be so small. Like I don't like that. So some of these things that I hope that at least they changed. Again, Mantic, shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would love
so,
to. I would love to have some of the organization tools that you have on Magic Online, to where you
Yeah.
can easily sort by cost, by color, by type,
I think we
all
are
that
pretty
stuff.
safe to say
just
that
with
it's
one
going to be
click.
better than at least than Magic.
Oh, for
Have-
sure.
Yeah,
have
I'm
more
sure it will
features.
be.
The reserves are better, right?
Just-
Because the reserves before having to be another window underneath, you could stretch up to look up
Yeah,
and stretch
it was,
down
like,
again.
really
That was
weird.
gross. This one, the
Yeah.
button flipping to the backside is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
she said. But still,
Smooth,
Couldn't
it's smooth,
resist,
man.
could
It's
you?
smooth.
I couldn't. It was too easy.
All right, all right, Mythic.
All right, so
Jeez.
that's the card manager. It'll be good to see that. You expect to see. You'll obviously see that once you on stream.
Yep.
People will be showing that off probably straight away. So another interesting thing we can now actually use the store, and we've all been given 4,000 platinum to test the pack opening process. And something interesting to note about there's a pretty big change here in terms of pack opening, is they've changed the way the primal packs work. It used to work that when you bought a pack from their store, there was a chance that it would be a primal pack. And anyone who doesn't know what a primal pack is, basically it's a pack that contains all rares and legendaries. So you might get, a mix of those two, basically. I don't know if it's possible to get all legendaries or all rares, but I guess it's all due to the randomness.
The golden ticket from Willy Wonka, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's now been actually changed to
I want my
something
Oompa Loompas back.
Oompa Loompas come out singing about your primal pack.
Yeah.
Primal,
Okay.
primal pack.
Okay. That would be.
Buddy, doom.
It'd be ridiculous.
All right, so it's now
What
been
will this
changed.
pack contain for you? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so as I was saying, they've now changed the primal pack system so that it's a lot better now, a lot better value. They're being very generous, and they've now made it so that every time you open a booster pack, there's a chance that you'll get a primal pack of cards inside it. So you're not only getting your initial booster pack, you get that still, and then you get the chance to get more. So it just means that no matter where you get your booster packs from, be it your VIP subscription, from doing drafts, from wherever off the auction house, you've got that chance to get the primal packs. So, another is more excitement for when you open the pack of cards. Not only are you getting your treasure chests, you've also got that chance for a primal pack. So yeah, just really crazy. I probably will make a forum post shortly after the stream here, and we'll collect some data and see how often people get primal packs, and we'll get people posting, and we'll see if we can work out what the percentage wise is. That'll be
How
interesting to
often you
know.
open up a primal?
Yeah.
It'd be
Mine
nice
will
to know.
be 0.
So
Guaranteed.
if anyone
So-
it was too long, what Heaven said was pretty much your dog. We know you like packs, so
What?
we put packs in your packs. So you
Yeah,
can craft
pretty
packs
much.
while you crack packs.
Yeah.
The more
Pretty
you
much.
buy, the more you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
but-
awesome. And I mean, another cool thing as well, obviously, anyone with a Kickstarter tier and you're getting your free drafts, you've just got even more value now because every draft you do, you've got that chance to, just get a primal pack. So it's quite insane. Even more value there.
Yeah,
So I'm very
that
happy.
that was an issue, especially for new players, that it was not completely obvious that if you wanted to go to play a draft, it was better to buy the packs from the store and
Yeah.
then go into a draft
Yeah.
and just find it on the queue of the draft. Which
Yeah,
could have
exactly.
made some problems for new players or people that just didn't know this. So this way
Yeah.
is there's no issues. It's
Pretty
kinda
much.
nice.
Nobody gets
So-
burned.
Nobody gets burned except the people get
Unless you
burned.
play bird.
Yeah. All right. So
Joke is coming.
obviously, the next line here.
Oh man.
Very big milestone has been hit for Cryptozoic. They've now got all the cards in the game, so congrats to Cryptozoic. That's
And
and the gems as well. Yeah,
So-
pretty big feat there, and just means we're getting every step closer to closed beta. So
Yep.
pretty awesome.
So I
All
would like
cards,
to ask
champions, and gems.
for a 1 minute
Sure.
of silence
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the people for the cards that didn't make it set one.
Yeah,
Yes,
1 minute silence. No, let's not.
Too long.
It's too long.
Yeah.
We'll give it 10. Let's
10
see.
seconds of
Let's see if
silence.
we can do 10 seconds. Let's see if
Okay.
it's
10 seconds is all it takes.
all right.
That
Let's
might be
see. All right,
Starting now.
starting now.
Oompa loom.
All right.
All right, we're done.
But
So-
I knew it wasn't difficult. I was
Good job.
waiting. Either it was going to be Mythic
That was-
saying
that was
something
10 seconds.
like penis or.
I thought about
That
it.
was
I
like
held that.
those are two.
All right.
Got
So
that mouth
All right.
sensor going. To
another
Also-
good feature that people will be excited about is new screen resolutions are now available. So anyone who runs a high resolution like 2560 by 1440, we may have that. We don't know, but
I wonder if they're just gonna have like a actual full screen. It detects.
yeah, I mean, I guess they could just have it. Yeah, scale.
Yeah. That seems like it'd be good.
Yeah.
So-
we'll get to see that once we're in game.
Going
Uh,
back to the
Tournament changes.
Tournament
No,
check?
we got two more changes before we get back to the new cards.
Yep.
Game timers
One's kinda
persist
big.
between different games in the same match. So each player now has 30 minutes to complete an entire match. That's something that was in a few patches ago and then somehow got messed up.
Yeah.
And now it's fixed, and this is how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So that's good.
That's good.
You can't wait
So,
somehow an hour and a half for one match.
yeah.
So that's
I've
good.
seen it happen.
And the next change is actually pretty huge because it has definitely got me pretty bad in some drafts.
Yeah.
Players can now correctly resocket their cards between games in a match
Yeah.
and between rounds in limited tournaments.
and only limited.
So if
Yeah, it's important to say. It's important to note it does say only in limited specifically. It
Yeah.
doesn't say in tournaments in general, which is kind of
Yeah.
unfortunate. I'd like to see it in both constructed and limited.
Yeah.
It should be kind of sweet to do, but it might be too good.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
too
it's
good
too
being able to switch your gems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or-
I think so.
But
But
Same
yeah,
with
it's really nice and
champions, too.
limited. Because there would be like a lot of times where you're like, oh, I'm going to sideboard in this, whatever it's called, some sort of crappy gem dude, and then you just like gem it before the match, and then you want to gem it in when you go to sideboard it, but it wouldn't let you put it. It wouldn't let you socket your card, and that's all fixed now. Plus, you can even switch the gems of the cards that are in your main deck, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool as well.
So basically, if you want to change colors, it's better now. Still, you cannot change your champion,
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate. Mm,
Yeah.
oh well.
I think that's fair.
That would probably be a bit too strong, though, being able to change your champion.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, like if
Oh,
you're like, I want to
I'm
go
up
wild
against Mono
diamond.
Ruby. I guess I'm gonna switch to Running Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the new features. Obviously, some very exciting ones there. So a lot of good stuff we get to fiddle with. So let's get on to the good stuff. The more good stuff, I should say, and the card spotlight. So the new cards. Let's see what we got. So
There it is.
I'll just. Yep. All right. So first up, Time Bug is now in. So we've got it's a 2-cost artifact, and it has flight. And then if you've got 2 of them in play, you can shuffle them into after they've dealt damage, I should say. If so, yeah, shuffle 2 Time Bugs that you control that dealt damage to an opposing champion this turn into your deck, and then you get an extra free turn. So it's just had a bit of a wording change, I think, from previous.
It's
And,
important to note on
yeah.
the wording that both of the Time Bugs have to deal damage, not
Yep.
just one of them.
Yep.
So you can't like deal damage and play another Time Bug and then shuffle them
Yep.
and get your extra turn. You actually have to have both attack and deal damage. So
Can't just give 1 evasion and be like, sweet, I'm getting some damage
Yeah.
in. You have to pretty well. They do
But
have
they do
flight.
have flight.
So
They have
Yeah.
evasion.
yeah,
man, that
they-
art does not look like they should have flight though, crawling up a
It's got
wall.
wings.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
got wings though.
No,
dude.
those are like
It's
arms.
underneath the carapace.
To scare
No,
them.
You can see
those
it at
are
the
those are
bottom.
beetle
I
wings.
see.
They,
I
yeah,
see.
They,
It's one of those nasty flying beetles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Ew, gross.
Or every
very
beetle that
nasty.
has
Just
wings
gives you
like
3
that.
times.
It's pretty cool art though.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I
Nobody
think
knows.
the flavor text on this is
Yeah,
awesome.
nobody knows
by
who
the way.
invented it, but he hasn't been born yet. Okay, that's fair enough. That's interesting. All right. So
Yeah, cool card.
cool card. Will definitely be
Yeah.
interesting to try and build around it,
You'll see
but
some French play.
yeah.
People will try and make them work because it's a really cool concept
Yeah.
and it has slight potential to be able to be abused, but like
Not right now.
I don't know.
Takes
I
a
don't
lot.
think it's
I don't think
it's definitely
easy or consistent.
yeah. It's not very easy to get it to work properly
Yeah.
in all the ways that you want it to.
Yeah.
So it'll be really fun to pull off if you can. Maybe Mantic will. I
I
don't know.
mean, I think the
Probably not.
hardest thing will be the hardest thing for it will actually be fitting it in and then doing a reliable way to actually get it in your, to get multiples of them and then actually have a way to take advantage of the effect once you've done it. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
there's
you've
so
got-
many things that you need to be able to do
Yeah.
with it. You need to get at least 2. You need to have both hit your opponent on the
Yeah.
same turn, and you need to actually do something with
Yeah,
your extra turns.
exactly. So it's a
And
lot of
probably-
things to come
And the rest
together.
of the time that you
Isn't
don't
it
have
like
2 of them,
Replicator's
is still
Gambit
a
and-
1/1 or 2, which is completely shitty
Yeah.
if
I
you
mean-
top deck it.
The obvious interaction would you want to have volt cannons and stuff like that. So that's a lot of
It's
extra
not a
damage.
robot.
Not a robot.
Oh no!
not a
Not with,
robot.
I don't mean. I mean with the additional turn. I don't mean
Oh.
because obviously if you have volt cannons, you're going to have things like maybe some technical geniuses. You're going to have the charge power for the worker bots. So that's still a decent amount of extra damage you could probably get through, especially because you're not going to be getting this effect off, extremely early. It's going to take, several turns to get there, and then by then you're probably going to have volt cannon out with a bunch of dwarfs, and therefore the additional turn may, be worth it.
I also
Anyway,
think it's like the people saying like Replicator's Gambit. I know a lot of people have mentioned it. It's just like kind of mediocre because would you rather Replicator's Gambit this and have a chance to get 3 extra turns next turn if
Yeah.
your guys hit, or would you just like Replicator's Gambit,
power.
Verdant Wildeboar, or Blaze Elemental and kill your opponent?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's a lot of
Playing
better
with, like
targets.
Transcendent, like you get to just get extra turns infinitely and just kill them with
It's
combos.
not that
Kinda
easy.
cute.
I was
Yeah, or
thinking
you-
of the
Or
Transcendent,
you could
but
play
it's-
Transcendent and just mill your opponent out with Chronic Madness in one turn.
Or get a
one.
million free wild growths.
Or Scrivener's a good
So,
one. The Gambit.
like even with the infinite combos or the Replicator's Gambit type stuff, you have better options. So I don't see this seeing much play at all.
Yeah, it's
I'm
But
excited
it's
about
neat.
playing this in PvE though.
yeah, in PvE
because
it can
you
be
get
really,
that
really good.
you can run 8 in your deck
yeah.
with the equipment and just it'll be like a PvE killer, right? Like try to make this deck that just takes infinite turns against
It's
the
definitely
dungeon
fun.
decks.
And I don't blame anybody for playing it because it's cool. But yeah,
It's
I
a
don't
really
think
cool
it's
mechanic,
competitive.
but it's not competitive. It's more of a fun gun right now.
All right. So moving on to the next card, we've got a new orc, the Darkspire Priestess. It's a 2-cost
Got
1
the best
threshold
orc.
blood. And yeah, it reads, when this troop dies, choose one at random. It deals 3 damage to each opposing champion. Or search your deck for a troop with Darkspire in its name and put it into your hand. Now, the interesting thing to note here is it says, for a troop with Darkspire in its name. So in future sets, if we get more Darkspire troops, this
Yeah.
card becomes a lot better.
There are 2
So,
Darkspire right now on set
Well,
1.
there you go. So there's already 2.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
It's a 3-2
it's
vanilla.
this and yeah, it's a 3-2 for 3.
Fair enough. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
But
you know,
yeah, seems like pretty good value. I mean, 2-1 for 2
Yep.
is definitely playable in draft and sealed as it is.
And then you've got that. Yeah.
And you know, you can have 2-1s for 2 seeing play in constructed from time to time if they have a good ability. And I think this one has a pretty good ability.
Yep.
I like him better when he was
I mean,
rare.
if it gets in once, then they kill it. It still has a potential of doing 5 damage to
Yep.
him with a two cost guy. It's pretty
Oh.
sweet.
Yep.
And if not, it gets you card advantage by getting another one to your hand. So
Yeah, I think it's
That's pretty
definitely
sweet.
good.
Unless, of
Especially
course,
like
they
Mirror Knight,
were
you
to
play this
use
guy in Mirror
a
Knight.
Curse of Oblivion, and then you're like, oh.
The Curse of
Replicators
Oblivion, this guy,
Gambit
I'm fine with
into
that. Like,
extinction.
Thing is, even with the Curse of Oblivion, even with the one that doesn't that makes it into play
That's-
that got cursed dies, you can still search for something and get it. Like, because, like we said, there's more than one thing that it can fetch,
you
not
can
just
fetch
other
a few
copies of
for-
itself.
And I'm
For
sure
what
we'll
you're
be
It's the
seeing
kill, man.
some more Darkspire stuff in future sets as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know,
It's
I doubt they're just
Fiend.
going to print 2 with this ability and call it a day. Though
Yeah,
you know,
the
you never
Digger
know. They
Gem-
might.
The Digger Gem with this card is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel
Take him
about
back out. Let him die. Tag him again.
Yep.
about the random mechanic on this card instead of being choose by the player or your opponent? Before it was your opponent choose. So how do you feel about this change?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Well,
think-
I
yeah.
mean, like
It never goes in my favor.
before, your opponent would always choose the worst option for you. In
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
at least you have a chance of getting the better option.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like they didn't change the ability at all. So
So basically,
usually,
you know, if you like what Khan's saying there, if you're against a life gain deck, obviously they're always just going to take the damage, and therefore you're not really getting anything much else out of it. Whereas you've got the chance to just get more troops.
Your
which-
opponent would always choose the one that's worse for you
Yeah.
in the situation.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so
If it's a board style and they're at 3 life, they
Yeah.
were always going to let you
Yeah.
get the other one.
exactly.
Now you have a chance to actually kill them.
It's quite relevant. All right, so next card is actually a pretty nice wild basic action. It's a 1-cost 1 threshold, and it reads: target troop gets opposing troops must block this troop if able this turn. So definitely, with all the stompy creatures that Wild has access to, definitely a very very nice. It's not really not a combat trick, I guess, but well, I mean it still is, and not in combat though. Just still going to be able to take out a lot of your opponent's board state with just this one card potentially. Like for example, you could ramp into something like a Drew, and then just be like, now block it, thanks. So pretty nice.
I think this is especially going to shine in limited, where it's
Oh, definitely.
either going to be a removal spell, or you're going to put this on like your smallest little 1/1, or even like a 0/1 battle hopper.
yeah, your battle
Yeah.
hop
And
there.
Yep.
you get in there and they can't block any of your other stuff because they all have to block your little 0/1 battle hopper.
Yeah, and
that
then
you
they
could get for free with your champion power.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
And
Yeah.
with a 2020 Muswaki.
yeah. It's
Well,
definitely gonna give you with exactly with that example. You're getting a lot of options with it. You can
Yeah.
either just make them potentially lose all their board, or just go around them and kill them.
yeah, it's quite
So,
interesting
is
that
sweet.
when this card was out of mind, it was a quick action, and now that they introduced the pre-combat
Jeez.
phase again, it's now a basic action.
Mm.
I don't see any reason for this to be a quick action.
Well, just saying. Because if you want to
Well,
play it a quick action, you could play it on
yeah.
the pre-combat step.
Yeah.
Because right now, as a
Doesn't-
basic action, you
Yeah.
can make opposing troops must block this troop behavior, but they can make your troop not to attack.
Yeah.
In a way, and
Yeah,
Like-
that is
like-
true.
like making
But I
damping
mean,
it or anything or something
There's
like
not
that.
a whole lot of effects like Stormcall or the Wind Whisperer. Like
Yeah.
those are basically the only things that can stop this now.
Yeah.
Everything else that was going to stop it, like
Still can.
repel
Yeah,
or
still
murder
gonna,
or any other type of removal, was
Murder,
still going to
yeah.
stop it.
Yeah, I just
either
wanted
way.
to comment on
So-
the fact that it was quick action before, and now that they introduced the priority, which make it
Yeah.
the quick action like something useful. It now is a basic action again.
Mhm.
So
Uh,
a small buff to those cards that tap. Not a big deal, I don't think.
I do
Alrighty.
want to say this will probably see a lot of play in limited. Definitely a good effect to have there with all the flexibility and making your troops all unblockable
I mean,
or
even
completely
in
breaking a board stall is always nice.
it's still even just like mono wild ramp with like fists. It'll
Yeah, I was
it'll
going to
be,
mention
yeah.
Yeah.
in
I
constructed.
think you probably even
might
see it in eye. Yeah.
In the eye deck is quite good
I don't.
for
I don't you see it.
yeah, because you want
Well,
them to block with their Guardian and
Yeah,
Argus.
you don't want to have.
Yeah, it's
You
not
don't
just
really
for
want to.
Yeah, you might sideboard it in.
yeah, just
I
sideboard
think
it
it's more
to
of a
kill
sideboard
to kill
card.
the to kill the stuff that is relevant on the mirror match, like forcing
Yeah.
them to block with Argus or stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But, like-
yeah.
Yeah, but like with eye, you can use it like you just use pheromones, use it on puck, and swing in. Like now your squirrels and things that would usually just get chump blocked, that don't have crush. Like there's your 9 cost and things. Those things are
Yeah.
pretty good, have evasion effects. But like there's a few things in on the 5 spot that aren't don't have like either crush or flying. Now they can get through. So you get a little slightly quicker clock. The only downside is it's not a troop, but not too bad. I'd run maybe like 1 or 2 at most in the
Yeah.
main, than the rest of the side.
Also, one thing is that
think
it's
I
a one
all
costed
decide.
action from WoW, so it's more fuel to the Skarn decks. If they
Yep.
weren't
Yep.
explosive enough.
True Skarn, yeah.
That's a good
More
point.
options for Skirn.
The tough
Always
thing though
like
about
that.
Skarn is they don't have too many troops out. Usually, I don't think so. You might have to add more troops, maybe some Yetis to the deck.
No, yeah, please.
Or something, just so
Well,
you
I'll
have
say that word here.
something else for them to deal with. So you can get
It'd
your
be
other
always
stuff.
good to put this on a gas troll.
Yeah, because the crush. Yeah.
I mean,
Like
it's also
yours.
fine
If
if you're
you
just
happen
gonna
to have
throw
a-
if you throw it out
troll and
early just to
stuff
flip it Skarn,
Yeah.
It's a one
Yeah.
cause action.
I mean,
If they
you
end up
do
doing
that
the
with
block, you just-
suppressive fire sometimes.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
use suppressive
So,
fire on
I
your-
just feel for like the Skarn deck, like it has a hard time getting like multiple threats out.
feel like,
usually,
I feel like suppressive fire is just better than this card in the Skarn deck, though. Not only
Probably,
does
yeah.
it pump up gas troll because it's a ruby, but
Yep.
you usually want your guys to get through rather than not get through.
Yep.
So
it's like the exact
yeah, that's
opposite.
true. Like it's the opposite. Like it's less efficient because in that matchup you only have like 2 troops at max, and then
And you have a
you're-
limited window to finish them.
and you're doing and you're doing this like early in the game where they probably only have 1 or 2 troops out themselves.
Yeah.
So pheromones works better in like like a weenie or rush deck where you have like 10 or 5 things that you want to push through, do damage.
we got
Um,
multiple stuff, not
Where you have
just
like
two
where
big
you have like a
threats.
large like probably more like a shin hair type of thing where you just
Yeah,
have
if you're
a
if you're
horde
wider on the
of
board
speakers,
rather
yeah.
than tall.
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. So the last new card in set 1 is Reginald Lancashire. He is a 3-cost ruby card, 1 threshold. He is a human rogue, and he reads, when Reginald deals damage to an opposing champion, shuffle him into their deck, and he gets permanent. When Reginald enters your hand or graveyard, he destroys you. Then each champion draws 3 cards. So obviously then each champion draws 3 cards is after he deals damage, and
after he goes into their
he
deck.
goes into their deck. Then they have the potential to draw him straight away and just lose, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And to clear it up, for he destroys you,
Yeah.
it means you lose.
You lose. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're out of there.
For those of you who haven't been destroyed by someone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Certainly
awesome.
got
videos
all
of
that.
Awesome.
But yeah, he's a fun little card.
Yep.
Once again, it's kind of the same problem as the time bug. You're gonna have to actually get him through
Yeah.
before you can activate the ability, and then still you're gonna have to have a way to take advantage of that ability. If you aren't like milling them,
I mean, Ruby
this is
Sapphire.
probably going to be pretty hard to actually get activated. Like you might have a small chance of them
Mhm.
getting it in their deck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, Ruby
I have the
Sapphire is
perfect
obviously
deck for
the
this.
obvious choice to start with because you can give him
Yeah.
flight, so you've got the evasion. Then you've got mill cards to make it so they hit him, with Chronic Madness and so on. So I mean, basically you could just make a mill deck.
Yeah, Ruby Sapphire is
I-
great too. You can use the Twisted Fate, like I said, to
Culmination.
Yeah, there's
to,
just
to
many-
combo. So his card draw, you can use Gem of Intensity, which is even more card draw. You can
yeah.
also
There's a lot of stuff
use-
you can do.
Instead of flight, you can also do stuff where you use Alex so that he comes out of nowhere, so they're
Yeah.
not even prepared for it. In addition, you can run Mentalist, so you're actually getting 4 cards in addition to him hitting your opponent, which is nice. So
I want to say
Just
though,
dumb stuff.
also, this actually has potential just to go into a mono Ruby deck, just due to the fact that a 3/3 for 3 in Ruby
Yeah.
is pretty solid, and
Mhm.
if he deals damage to an opposing champion, both players draw 3 cards, and that's pretty good in a Ruby deck. You're usually happy if both players can draw 3,
You
because you're
lose,
usually doing more with those cards at that point
Yeah, but you still lose 1
in
card from
mono
that.
Ruby.
Because Reginald Lancashire
Yeah.
will get shuffled, so...
Well, Reginald deals 3 damage to them and then draws 3 cards. That's
But
Kind-
you lose
that's
Reginald,
pretty
so
good.
it's a 4-4-3 in a way.
and then yeah, what?
It's a 4-4-3 because you lose Reginald Lancashire. when he attacks, you have to shuffle him into your opponent.
Not
You
exactly.
don't-
I mean, he still dealt damage.
Yeah, but this
deal
only 3.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 is important in the Ruby
Yeah,
decks,
that's
though.
pretty
If you-
important
that's
in a
3
Ruby
for
deck.
3.
That's
3 for
a
3
turn.
is
And then
decent.
also,
Yeah.
you have the slight off chance that your opponent just loses the game
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's
So-
alternate win condition that they just might.
One thing I would
randomly
like to
lose.
note, I'm glad this is a legendary because after beta comes out, I would get
I
really
wanna-
pissed off if somebody just randomly killed me with this shit.
I really want to.
Well, I'm
I
gonna
really
get
want to say though,
100% of the
it's
time.
it's weird he's not unique.
Yeah, he was unique before.
It is weird.
Yeah, it is. It is considering he's named and
He's
all
a
that.
specific named character, and
Yeah.
he's not unique.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if
let's say
that's
this. I think this
supposed to be
this
like
was
that.
taken from the card
Typo,
manager.
maybe.
And
Maybe
it-
he
it
has
was
brothers. They're
Yeah,
all
it might have been
twins.
taken from the card manager while it was still bugged.
Possibly, yeah.
That's true.
He is a rogue. So
back. He was unique before.
And the flavor text is pretty
Sneaky.
pretty funny there. Not only shall I slay the vile bug, I shall look fabulous as I do it.
That's my motto.
Look, yeah, all the people he's slaying all the time.
While you wear
Almost
to say
looking
also-
fabulous, but-
All
Yeah,
these,
you
all
don't
these
look much
creatures,
more fabulous than winning a game with Trial of Fate.
all these creatures with effects that just say when it deals damage to an opponent this turn, it doesn't say it deals combat damage. So in the future, if we end up getting some
Yeah.
auras and stuff that let your creature tap and deal 1 damage to a target creature or troop or
That seems
trooper,
like an inspired deck to
champion.
me.
You get those types of abilities in Magic pretty often. And with these not specifying that it has to be combat damage,
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of times where you can play these types of cards with these abilities and use that pinging effect
Yep.
and just deal 1 damage to their champion directly and not have to attack, and you just get this effect immediately.
To be fair,
So it's
what
pretty cool.
what they are doing right now, all the pinging effects are not there in Hex, and they made all
Yeah.
the troops.
There's one guy.
It makes they made all the troops with that same text. So I really don't expect to see some way of pinging your opponent easily, like on ours is the same as we get in Magic, because they seem they don't
I
like
expect
that.
to see it at some point in
It
the future.
might be a little bit rarer or more
Yeah.
costly because of
Yeah, I'm
how
sure it'll
good it
be a
would
lot
be
more
with these
uncommon.
cards.
Hmm.
And if you notice, a lot of the creatures that do ping are troop only, like what they did with the specialist.
Yeah.
They
They have to
I'm
make. They
sure
have to do a
sucks.
careful balance because of the Inspire. They have to.
I'm sure
be
we're
Yeah.
going to
careful
see
with it.
that effect eventually in some form or fashion.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what I'm saying is
probably.
that we are not going to see it the same
I mean,
as
it
we have it
does-
on Magic. So it's probably going to be a lot more shitty and overcosted. This on Magic just
Yeah,
because
I
Oh,
mean-
you'll
of
probably
the
cost
synergy.
like a 6 or 7 constant that makes troops, do damage as they come into play or something.
I
like
mean,
that.
it does change. Like, for example, like any Inspire, like Uranaz, anything that's dealing, has to deal damage to get a really good effect. They do have to be careful. So, who knows what they will do? They're probably still evaluating.
Even the tappers in this game are more expensive than they are in Magic, right? Because like Wind Whisper in Magic would be a 1-cost 1/1 for 1 with a pay 1 tap
Yeah.
it thing. So this one costs 3. It's playable because it's the
Well,
only tap
there's
effect we have. But
There's also cards that are almost exactly like Wind Whisper and Magic. It's just the balancing that they wanted to do in their
Yeah.
limited set. It's easily could be, they easily could eventually do something like the 1/1 for 1 that taps, but every set doesn't have to have the most efficient cards.
With
because, I mean,
Whisper, if it
you
was
still
a
see
2-drop,
Wind
will have
Whispers.
been great, just because of what we said before, that there are not many 2-drops.
Yeah, but they don't want every card to be great, So
Yeah,
They're-
the same.
there's easily room for those types of cards to come in the future. We
Yeah.
don't have to have everything in set 1, at the
I
most
want it.
efficient way. But yeah,
I think we need to go over the gems now, right?
Yeah.
new gems.
So,
Yeah.
new gems.
1 second.
Let's let Phoenix do it. Go ahead, man.
All right, we got a new ruby gem. It's the Ruby of Flames. It's a double threshold to use. This troop cannot be blocked except by artifact troops and/or troops that share the same color. So basically, it's Intimidate for Magic.
Yep.
I don't know how many cards you're actually going to use this in, but I mean, there could be some ways to use it. I guess. What do you guys think
Doing
about it?
Ruby Evasion seems nice. A little bit of stuff to do there.
no,
One
good.
second.
I'm
Where-
assuming that these are all prime gems as well because they're double threshold, correct?
It doesn't
No,
say.
that's
Or
the
they're all
that's
minors.
You'll have to
Minor.
say prime.
Yeah, they're minors. A lot of minors have
Where are
double
the
minors.
gems
threshold.
on the?
Yeah, I think we
okay,
have
that
all
makes
the
sense.
prime.
There it is.
Yeah, these are all minors.
Okay, that's all right.
But yeah, so it's a decent minor
Where
gem.
are you gonna put it in? Berserker?
Imagine sticking it in Hellhound.
Yeah.
Then you have. Yeah,
Mm.
and
Or
plus
Hellhounds.
also
Yeah,
with
that'd be-
with being able to change gems in between games and rounds in draft now,
I
and
mean,
sealed for that matter.
That's pretty good.
If you're not going
is
against
Yeah.
the deck
better.
with Ruby in it, like that'll be pretty big game.
also an interesting thing for future is when we get those double minus socket troops, and you can give speed and that effect. That's pretty
Yep.
good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
double
that's good.
socket's gonna be amazing, especially with
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next one as well is another good one.
It's
Yeah,
like
the
best
next
for
one?
double socketing.
Next one is a big deal, an effect a lot of
Yeah.
people have been looking forward to.
Yep.
You wanna read it?
Flash.
Yeah,
We are,
basically
getting-
Flash. You get
yeah,
to play
it's
this
the-
troop at any time. You can play a quick action, double sapphire threshold.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
Yeah, alright, so that's... Oh, alright, I'll just continue. Alright, so the
It
next
didn't
one
sound
is
like you were about to read it.
the Blood Orb of Deception is a double blood one. When this troop becomes blocked by a troop, that troop gets permanent -1/-1. So we had it before, we've got it back again. So it's just re-implemented basically. And yeah, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's the new gems. Then we've got the 2 remaining champions have been fixed up and working. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, anyone who hasn't done it yet, patch your game. Make sure to repair install a couple times. We've still got how many hours now?
At least one.
Almost like a
Hour and 45 minutes.
Hour 45 minutes.
So
Fair.
4 or 5 hours.
Oh, if you did want to read off those champions for people who didn't know what they were, you should probably do that.
Go ahead.
I was saying one of you guys. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I
I'll
can read
do
it.
I don't know
Not
the
it.
champion.
Everyone, do it at the exact same time. Ready? Set.
Sounds awful.
Go.
Happy birthday.
That's son of
Uh,
Basically.
Sap.
So basically,
Six,
Bunjitsu
zero.
is 5-costed double threshold. You combine 2 troops, they become an abomination. Basically, it may have changed because it was before they gave permanent +2/+2 on top of the addition of their normal attack and defense.
Now it gives +3/+3
Yep.
Plus 3/+3.
plus their
Yeah.
combined attack and defense.
If
Yeah.
it didn't exhaust the troop, it'd probably be better. If the troop didn't come to play exhausted, it'd probably be amazing.
It would
Yeah.
be a lot better, yeah.
Still,
Well, not amazing, but
it's
it'd
pretty
be
solid with
playable.
troops that are undercosted because of a negative effect, and you can make them. For example, I had some time ago a guy that just played double Wildeboar on one turn and then transformed it into an N8 one. This kid will be an 11 level, but the same can be done with
Okay.
the Fang of the Mountain God, the 5/4/4/3 that has a negative effect, or any stuff like that. So, or for example,
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
the Wall of Bones, or whatever it's called, the one that is 0 plus whatever troop you have in the graveyard, but it can attack because it's defensive. Now mutate doesn't work,
All
but
of corpses.
you could do something fancy with that.
I mean, would it work on something
huge troop.
like the I forget, is it the Scrap Welder? I think is the name, where
you
he's
can
the
also use
flying
this.
beast.
Yeah.
Would that kill
Yeah.
the damage?
Yeah, the 5/3.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
should
believe
keep the
so. You
5.
could keep the
That's pretty
you
interesting.
can sack it before the
I don't know.
it
That's
is
still a
tough.
bit of a loose combination, but yeah.
You want to run Blood Ruby artifacts?
yeah, the reason
Yeah,
it's
man.
not the reason that it exhausts too is like I think the abomination will get hit by inspire effects, so you could probably give it haste.
Yeah. It actually creates
to-
the abomination rather than transforming your guys.
So that would actually
Yeah.
be pretty unfortunate for someone just to like have 2 pretty decently sized troops turn into a giant troop that suddenly gained like speed and flight from your inspires and just came over the
And then
top.
it gets exiled and you're screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or repel.
like,
Anything.
repel could happen. That could
Yeah.
happen too, but yeah.
Sanctioned
Um,
murder.
The
I
other
probably
champion,
use it
I'm-
just as a sack outlet, just to because, like I said, I'm looking for cards to like kill my dudes. So
I mean, it's good if you've got stuff that's been negated through like inner conflicts or mesmerizes. I mean, you could then,
true.
Yeah.
get one of them back, or potentially both if you've had multiple
Well,
being negated.
No, this is.
But it's
this is kinda
still
lame.
really
You have
loose
to void
combat.
2 readied troops. They have to be
Oh,
untapped.
so mesmerize wouldn't work. Okay. Well, inner
Yeah.
conflict, stuff like that. Yeah. Still,
Okay.
I don't really like it too much. I mean, it's a high cost as well. I think there's too many other good stuff to pick from, basically.
Especially in block,
I like
too,
the-
like where you have the removal spell champion, you have the draw champion, you have the deal one, the pinger champion. Like all those are just infinitely better than this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Regardless of what you're
what
Blood
about
has
I mean,
what
in
about
the
the
future-
ritualist? Make the ritualist a 5/5.
And then sacrifice it.
And then
And then
you can trade
yeah.
three troops then for this.
Yeah, 3 troops for one.
I
that
like
will
that playing
get
card. I like that play.
that'll get
To get
conflicted.
an 8/9 or something when you mix it with a battle hopper. Nice.
I'm kind of excited about the other champion though.
Yeah,
It
he's
could go
interesting.
really well in a Ruby control deck. So,
Yeah,
kind of like what
that's-
Phoenix was playing a while ago.
That was the first thing I
So
thought
aren't you
when I
supposed to
actually
play Forney in that
played.
one?
Developing the deck with Phoenix is I was like, I really wish I could use this champion.
Mhm.
'Cause he
Yeah,
would fit.
I tried to
perfectly
do
in
that.
deck.
That was one of the first things you told me.
Yeah, I was
Probably
like,
like-
man, if that guy worked, that would make this deck even better. Yeah.
It was like 3 months ago I tried this guy out in a Ruby Diamond control deck, and then I got burnt because it was just completely bugged and did nothing. So I was sad
Plus,
about
the
that.
artwork on him's pretty sweet too.
This is like
Pretty
pretty
badass looking work.
That headdress. Sick.
Ooh, if you're playing Ruby Diamond, you could Trial of Faith and then use your charge power afterwards to get a giant dude to block. So you have Trial of Faith and a giant dude.
That's
Just saying.
actually not the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, solid. Damn
Not
good
the
one,
worst.
honestly.
Surprisingly.
Just one of
Close
the
second.
worst.
A close second. Not the worst.
Look, man, Trial of Faith works, dude.
The second, the first, the worst one is just playing Trial of Faith and nothing else. That's
Well,
the
no,
Right,
drafting
so,
3
yeah.
Trial of
Second-
Faith is probably the
second worst
worst.
would be this one.
I think snap drafting
But yeah,
3 Trial of
that-
Faith is probably worse than just playing it in general.
So one thing
Did you
I
even
want-
play game 2s for that draft? Like, or did people just
no, they just
Age
conceded
quit.
after game 1.
after game 1 they're just like no more? That's it.
So, well,
It's
this
pretty
patch pretty means that we are really close to beta, as they completed the set 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It also
I
means
wouldn't be
that
surprised if it's another 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be at least 2 weeks for them to be just do a lot of, they need to make sure everything's pretty much.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be
spot on.
doing
They
a lot
have
of
to.
testing with the store.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Right.
Get all that info compiled, fix
They
any
just need to
slight
make-
bugs that they might have with that.
So
Yeah.
what I was going to say,
I'm thinking it's going to be a month
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
because they need to announce it, then they need to fix stuff, and then they need to accept applications and get everybody in. It's going to be at least 3 or 4 weeks, I would
I
say.
mean,
What do you mean,
closed
accept
beta is going to be just
applications?
us
Get everybody in.
for the most part.
Yeah, closed
Well-
beta is basically going to be the same people as alpha.
Yes, but in saying that, they are accepting, they're taking payments, there's prizes and all that, and when that sort of stuff gets involved, and, if any bugs do happen during a draft and someone loses a draft because of a bug,
Yep.
then you have a lot of headaches for Cryptozoic, and they're not going to want that. They
I
want to have
wouldn't
it.
be surprised if in closed beta you don't get all
mean-
your Kickstarter stuff yet until
Well, no,
open
we
beta.
are. They have
So-
said that in
Oh, they have
Corey's
said
blog. Yeah.
yeah, we
Like, it
talked
was in-
about it
Oh,
last
alright.
week. Because I
Yeah.
was
So there's
the
going to be
same
no
as you.
more wipes after we go to closed beta.
Pretty much, yep. We'll be
Wow.
getting everything, and you'll be able to spend your money and all that. So that's
I'm
why
expecting
I
2
think
weeks.
that's why I'm thinking it's. I'm gonna guess 3 weeks. So we
Oh
can
no,
place
just
your
how
bets.
fast
Place your
they've done.
bets.
Look at how fast they've done
Well,
everything in these last 2 weeks.
Exactly. So I mean, that obviously now they don't have any more cards to implement. It all comes down to just getting the bugs fixed. It all comes down to just how much they can crack down on all the bugs and
We'll see how
because
good.
they might not catch everything as well. So
Yeah.
That's
But
what
I
beta's
think it
for,
all
though.
depends really on how
Yeah.
the shop is going to work this week.
Yeah.
And if that's in a good state, then we could see it in 2 weeks.
yeah,
Maybe even next week. Though that's
I
a
think
little
I
unlikely.
think at minimum 2 weeks. I reckon.
I'm saying
Yeah,
next week.
I'm guessing 2
Oh.
weeks, but yeah, if everything is going smooth, there's a slight chance we could get it next week even.
Yeah.
I want to see a bug where every pack that you open is a primal pack. That's what I want to see.
So,
Nice.
so what I was going to
I
say
have to keep my
before
question, though,
this
so it's
ranting
fine.
completely off topic of what I was going to say is that we were
Go ahead.
getting close to beta, and I was going to talk about what we don't have yet instead of what we have.
Mhm.
And for example, the
Alright.
people
Well,
have us
I don't
a
know
lot
what
for best of 3 with sideboards in the proving grounds. We still don't have those.
Yeah.
Some books are still in play, like for example the Solitary Exile Priority. At least it doesn't say that it has been fixed. And there are a lot of
It does.
cards. There are
I've
a
still
lot of
gotten coin
Bounce it
flip
because
bugs
it
too.
works.
There are a lot of that cards that were spoiled on set 1 that unfortunately didn't make it to set 2. Unfortunately, they make it to set 1. But some of them were quite interesting, like the blue constant card that prevent opponents from playing actions, and some other artifacts that will have been really nice to build around. So yeah,
Well,
I'm a
we're
little
not
bit
getting
upset
any more
as some of
cards,
that. Yeah,
so
we're not
that's
getting any
close.
more. That's already close. That I'm saying.
And also, with the fact that we're not getting any more cards, I'm pretty sure we're not getting any more card changes. No more nerfs or buffs to anything.
Well, yeah. I mean that's
Yeah,
fairly likely. So
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know about that one.
crush some faces with Index.
There are some buffs. I'm sure Dan will take time to change things as
Yeah, I mean,
meta evolves.
I mean, I kind of expect them to do, just a few changes at the last minute of not just because because that's when their only time they can. If they don't, then it's stuck. Everything's locked in. So they may be testing. They may have been testing stuff for a while, and they're like, okay, we want to do the launch, say next week. Let's do the changes now. They could have a list of things that they've been planning to change for quite a while now. Who knows? So they could have been testing several things for quite some time. So
I mean, it's possible that the patch they say this is now beta also has a bunch of card fixes.
exactly. They could, yeah. That is exactly what they could do.
I'm excited for PvE.
Well,
you have to wait for
unfortunately, it's gonna take.
Can't wait.
I know.
Guys, I just realized something.
Yep.
Lancashire is not going to be very good against IDEX because they can flip him, and he goes straight to the battlefield rather than your hand or graveyard.
And then you burn it and
Kill
he
you.
dies.
Lancashire is not very good in general, so
Then they hit you with him, and he goes into your deck, and you draw him off the first 3 cards.
So he goes into your
Delete.
graveyard if you lose. I mean, if they do kill him though, It goes into your graveyard and then
Yeah.
you lose.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
anyway.
you shouldn't be playing Patch.
Yeah.
Fringe cases of fringe case.
Completely
fringe
irrelevant point.
Yeah.
Just felt like saying that.
Okay.
All right, so
yeah.
I think that is pretty much it for the patch.
Oh, real
Yes.
fast, so one thing I do want to say.
Stuff out the patch.
Yep.
Tuesday, Neo, infamous Neo in the chat,
yes.
is going to be doing a thing with Corey, an interview with Corey, or someone from CZ. I believe it's Corey. But if you guys have any questions you want to ask him, you can throw it in the chat. He's there. I think he's got a forum post. I don't know what the hell it is, but you can throw it there. I'm sure I'll put it in there in a second. And ask your questions so you can ask Corey for you guys.
Indeed.
If anybody has any questions for Corey.
Yeah, or anything on the chat.
I have-
because,
I have a
haven't
thing.
read it.
I'll be really mad if any of my viewers like ask questions for this because I ask them every week if they have any questions for Core or anyone. Every guy that week, I'm like, "Hey, got any questions for anyone?" That I'll probably see, at CZE this week, and then there's
Yeah.
like
Because Mantic goes
No.
up there every week.
boxers or briefs or that's the kind of shit I get for like questions. Like,
He
In my
actually
chat.
lives in the boiler room of CZE.
I do. I live in the air ducts, crawl through it.
So
I think that's it, right, guys?
yeah, Neo has posted the link. So if you got questions, just go to that thread there and post away. So he has, the more questions, the better. And try to keep them, relevant.
Yeah, no boxers or briefs.
yeah, we
questions.
don't want that. Or
So,
Yeah, like, why is it
oh,
Mythic Community Manager?
Because it's neither. For those of you wondering. Yeah.
It's neither. He likes those whitey tighties.
What he briefs?
Whale tail.
He
whale
just
tail.
free balls it.
Free balling.
well, I mean, to be honest, he can't really wear any because of the 1,000 boner thing. Like he's got too many down there, so
He has too many boners. for-
exactly.
for
He can't get.
underpants.
He has to get custom underwear, and it's just too expensive.
All right.
He's got to spend his money on
Plethora of
Hex.
peni.
Yeah.
also on a
That's
related
enough
note,
of
well,
And
not
on that-
related with all this, but on topic,
Related?
they
1,000
also posted an article about randomness,
Yeah. They did.
which
Yeah.
basically means it's working as intended.
Yeah.
But the problem with random,
But-
at least the one that we complain, is that it's
I
too
mean,
random and that we want it less random. As Pile Shuffling in real life,
well, I mean,
it's not so
you
random.
You can't say either way. Like, it doesn't matter what the article says. No one can prove otherwise. So, yeah.
I think for me, I know personally, as someone who didn't play a lot of Magic Online and just spent years playing paper Magic, you just get so used to the consistency of just not even mana weaving, just pile shuffling. If that's all you're doing, it still leaves you with a pretty consistent draw of resources and a spread of your 4-ofs throughout your deck that you're just so used to. You can mulligan happily just to try and ensure that you get a card you're looking for in your opener and not have to worry about going the next 10 turns without playing another resource. Whereas with a truly random or as random as you can get deck that we have in Hex, it's just sometimes you just randomly get no resources for 10 turns. It just happens.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
terrifying to mulligan.
It's like
it really
the same
is.
chances. Yeah, because it's every
Very
draw is
scary.
a different percentage. I mean, every draw is not. I guess what I'm trying to say, every draw is independent of each other draw.
Yeah.
So drawing 3 shards in a row isn't actually any more uncommon than not drawing 3 shards in a row.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get 2 resource hands all the time, and I'm like, I can't mulligan you because I know if I go to 6, I'm gonna get 1, and then if I go to 5,
Or
I'm gonna
0,
get like
yeah.
700.
It's just funny
It's
like
just
that. Like you
terrifying.
can be running 19 resources and you can be running 26, and you can still see that like there's times where you just won't.
Yeah.
You'll get either completely flooded or completely deprived of resources and screwed, which is kind of interesting to me. Like that, even with that variance, like I'll have times where I'm just still seeing the same patterns every 10 games. Like
Yeah,
Happens.
whereas like if in paper, like I'd see that every 40. Like it seemed like it was way less.
You just get so used to
Often.
pile shuffling.
Yeah.
Even if you
It just-
riffle shuffle
yeah.
a few times
Yeah.
afterwards, it's still so much more consistent than
Yeah,
random.
because human players don't randomize really. Like they're just kind
like
of
it's enough
basically
to not know where stuff is,
moving
but
around.
if you're, I mean, your mana is still going to be spread out pretty evenly.
Yeah.
Most of
yeah.
the
I
time.
mean, like I think the Magic Online Shuffler is probably even better than this, honestly. Like I played Magic Online.
They're probably
a ton.
this. They might be the same. It
Yep.
could
They
be.
might be the same, but I mean, I feel like I never had to mulligan anywhere near as much as I had to mulligan in this game. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just
the Magic
horribly
Online
unlucky.
Maybe you're
I
just
don't know.
maybe you're just playing this game much more than you were. I have no idea.
That's probably true.
It could
To
be
be fair.
biased there. Could be
Could be a
biased.
couple hours more than I ever played Magic Online, but you know,
Yeah, you also remember the bad experience more than the good experience, so
that's true.
Yeah, I looked some of the stuff online to see if I can find some like
The human condition.
concrete evidence between real life shuffling and digital shuffling. And I noticed there's the same threads about getting long runs of like 10 cards of no resources for people talking about their experiences on Magic Online. So I think it's the same. When you go from a real life shuffler to a digital shuffler, you'll notice
Yeah,
that there's
basically
that
though, everybody in real life is cheating,
yep.
and this is
basically-
actually
and this is
Yeah,
The
I
thing
actually,
is that
actually
as everyone does it, it makes for better games in general.
everyone who plays
Yeah.
cards in real life is a cheater.
Yep.
Is essentially what it means.
All right. With that said, basically we're done. I've posted a link in the chat. Yeah, basically for the anyone who wants to open packs and post about how many primal packs they get out of the 20 packs. Be sure to visit that thread, and we'll be able to collect some data.
So basically,
So,
buy 20
yeah.
packs, click open all, count the primals you get.
Pretty much,
Put it
yeah.
on the. It should take like 2 minutes at most.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna
it will be
fabricate
really
my
helpful.
results to mess up Havoc experiment.
Oh, thanks, man.
Got 7 of
I
them.
opened up 20 primal packs.
Well, someone's already
How
said
does-
that. Someone's already said that.
I
You-
opened up 40 primal packs out of my 20.
Oh, but the primal
Wow.
packs also get chests. So could we get a primal pack into a primal
Okay.
pack?
Well, I
We'll
mean,
open
yeah,
It's
22?
possible.
It's crazy. Well, actually, they
That's
do
not
actually
gonna
get.
There's like probably an infinitesimally small chance that you can go
infinity
and
in
start
a pack?
chaining primals for like a run of
Yeah.
10 cards.
About
Like,
as small of a chance as chaining ancestral specters.
smaller than that, I'd imagine.
Hey, it's random.
It's random
Lucky for
as
you,
you
man.
as you draw 5 in a row after being in play for only 3 turns.
Too lucky for you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yep.
is that it?
That's it.
I guess.
That's
Yeah,
So,
That's-
how
That's
long-
everything from the patch.
So what? An hour and 26 minutes still.
No, half an hour.
Half an hour.
Hey, you know it's probably
Jeez.
going to be pushed back. They
That's
all
fine.
are.
Probably.
Hopefully, I don't feel like going on yet. So
The game does not revolve
You gotta
around
eat your
you.
way out of that green apple
It's-
first.
yeah, it should, man. Yeah, I gotta get myself out of this banana first. So. Gotta swallow this banana whole first. What?
Yep.
What?
On that
Right.
note.
I
This is going a lot to the conversation
This is
pre-Skype,
going out of control.
pre-stream,
This is
and
bad.
I don't want to go there. So
That's enough.
Sounds appealing.
We're
All
done.
right. So yeah, everyone.
That's fun. I like it. I can get behind that fun.
Thanks for stopping by again. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoy the patch.
I'll be live after the servers go live shortly.
Yeah, Mythic will be up, I'm sure.
Alrighty.
All right.
All right.
All right. So,
See you.
All right, take care.
later, guys.